Okay, in today's lesson, I'm going to do example number 6 to example number 9 from chapter 1 of A&A higher level Oxford book. So in example number 6, the fourth term of an arithmetic sequence is 18. So it's given that it's arithmetic sequence. So first step you should do is you write down this is AP. Arithmetic sequence is same as arithmetic progression. So the fourth term of an arithmetic sequence is 18. So I'm going to use proper notation for that. So U4, this is given to be 18 and the common difference D is equal to -5. So the common difference is -5. Determine the first term and the nth term. So first term is U1 and you have to determine UN. So if you remember, UN is equal to U1 plus N minus 1 into D. But the another thing which I want you can find U4 using this formula, but I would like you to remember that whenever you have U4, this is equal to U1 plus 3D. So you don't have to plug anything in the general formula to find U4 or any term, because this should be like, you should be able to say it very quickly. So U4 is equal to U1 plus 3D because U4 is 3 common difference away from U1. Now we know U4 is 18, so I'm going to substitute here. So U1 we have to find, and then D is -5. So 18 is equal to U1 minus 15. So 18 plus 15 is equal to U1. So we got U1 is equal to 33. So that is your U1. And now we need to find UN. So UN is equal to U1 plus N minus 1 into D, as we already know. And now we need to substitute U1 is 33, N minus 1 into, you always use bracket for negative numbers, always use bracket there. So UN is equal to 33. We need to simplify it. We can't leave our answer here. -5N plus 5. So this is equal to 38 minus 5N. So this is your UN. Now the next example is, so you have if you look at this, and it's given, it's an arithmetic progression, and the terms are 20, 23, 26, and 83, and you have to find the number of terms in this case. Number of terms, always change the question using the notation. So we know that for number of terms we use n, so we need to find n here. Now we need to see that it is arithmetic sequence. So AP, this is given also, and you can see from here as well. So this one is U1, this is U2, this is U3, and this is what we are trying to find number of terms, but we don't know which term is this, which means this is our UN. So if UN is your general term and it is also your last term or nth term, and we have to find number of terms. So to do that, I don't know, this could be 10th term, this could be 50th term, so we don't know, so we are saying that this is UN. Now I know U1 is 20, U2 is 23, which means D is equal to, you subtract here, so that's 3, and 26 minus 23 is also 3. So your common difference is 3. We already know U1 is 20 and UN is equal to 83. So we'll substitute in the formula. UN is equal to U1 plus N minus 1 into D. Doesn't matter how many times you are doing the questions, make sure that you always write down the formula, identifying the formula and then writing it down helps a lot to understand the questions easily. So UN is 83, U1 is 20, we already know, plus N minus 1 into D is 3. So you simplify, it's a simple equation. So you open 3N minus 3, and 83 is equal to 17 plus 3N. So 83 minus 17 is equal to 3N, and then 83 minus 17 divided by 3 is equal to N, gives you number of terms. So you will find your number of terms from here. So when you simplify that, this is going to give you N is equal to, so we can do here, so 83, you don't have to use calculator for this, but I'm just using it so that it's quick. So 63 divided by 3, so your N is equal to 22. So N is equal to, so if you have 66 divided by 3, that gives you 22. So number of terms in this sequence is 22. Okay, so similarly, another example, it's exactly the same. So we again have arithmetic progression here. So this is AP. And then again, this is U1, this is U2, this is U3. We don't know. This is UN. Exactly the same. And we have to find N here. So D, you can see it's a decreasing sequence. So D is -4. And now UN is equal to U1 plus N minus 1 into D. So 30 is equal to 34 plus N minus 1 into -4. So 30 minus 34. In the previous question, I showed you by simplifying brackets first, but there is another way of doing also. So you can also do 30 minus 34 is equal to N minus 1 into -4. So this is -4. That way you don't have to open the brackets. And then -4 divided by -4 is N minus 1. This get cancelled. So 1 is equal to N minus 1. That doesn't seem to be the correct answer here. So U1 is 34, that's right. And UN, so UN was -30. That's why, see, if you do not pay attention, then, we got N is equal to 2, and you can see that, there are more than 2 terms in this. So mistake is that UN is -30. That's why it is important to actually write down U1 is 34 and D is -4 and UN is equal to -30. So I would highly recommend you to write down that. So I'm going to change it here, -30, and then you got -64 here. And then you divide -64 by -4, which means you will get 16 is equal to N minus 1. So N is equal to 17, which makes sense. So you have 17th terms for this one. Now exactly the same way here. So don't get the only difference here in part C is that from part A and B you had numbers as a sequence. Here you have numbers which is given in terms of A. So don't get scared of that. I don't know how I'm going to find the number of terms here. So the one thing which you need to keep in your mind is the number of terms in your final answer. So don't get scared. So we will see that what is it, because number of terms you can't have A here. So A somehow will get cancelled out. So let's start again. This is again arithmetic progression. I'm going to copy down 6A, and then D in this case is again it's a decreasing one. So D is -2A, and then UN is equal to, I'm going to check one more time the statement. Yes, so this one is -22A. So -22A. Now I'm going to write down U1 plus N minus 1 into D. So that is -22A is equal to 6A plus N minus 1 into -2A. I like when I did not open the bracket, so I'm going to do this question without opening the bracket again. So -22A, -6A, N minus 1 into -2A. So this is -28A is equal to N minus 1 into -2A, and then -28A divided by -2A is N minus 1. A and A got cancelled, negative got cancelled. This gives you 14 is equal to N minus 1, which means N is equal to 15. So you have 15 terms in this sequence. Now the next question is, the arithmetic progression is given, and they said here that there are 3 numbers. They are consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence, and the sum of the 3 numbers is 45. So I said S3 is equal to 45. So sum of 3 arithmetic sequence, the sum of 3 terms in an arithmetic sequence, and the terms are consecutive terms, the sum is 45, and their product is 3240, and then you have to find those 3 numbers. So whenever the consecutive terms are given, what we need to do is, we need to, let's say that our terms is U1 minus D, and then U1 and U1 plus D. So always whenever there are consecutive terms, depending on how many you have, so if you have 3, you always assume those 3 terms are U1 minus D, U1 plus D. And why do we do it? Because when I will find the sum of these 3 terms, which is U1 minus D and plus U1 and U1 plus D, if I add them, D will get cancelled. So I will simply get 3U1, and sum is 45, which means by making an assumption of these three terms, because they were consecutive terms in this way, it gives me u1 easily. So u1 is equal to 15. So we got u1 is equal to 15. Now the product of three numbers is 3240. Now when we do the product, u1 minus d, u1 and u1 plus d. Here when I multiply, because it's in order, so it doesn't matter, I can rearrange them. So u1 minus d, u1 plus d is equal to 3240, and then you will get here u1 square minus d square is equal to 3240. This is a minus b and a plus b. Now u1 is already known, which is 15. So u1 square minus d square is equal to 3240. Again, do not open the bracket here, because then you will complicate the steps. So let's do 3240 divided by 15. So I'm going to use calculator for that. So 3240 divided by 15. So that gives me 216. So u1 square minus d square is equal to 216. And now again, substitute the value of u1, which is 15 square, is equal to 216. So minus d square is equal to 216 minus. So you do 15 square here, 15, which is equal to 225. And then I'm going to subtract 216 from here, 9, but we had to subtract 216 minus 225, which means this is equal to minus 9. Negative will get cancelled out. So d square is 9, which means d is equal to plus minus 3. Okay, in the same question, they can ask you, once you have all the information, they might ask you to give all the terms here. Okay, so yeah, find the three numbers. They did ask you find the three numbers. So your three numbers will be, so u1 minus d, u1 plus d. So your three numbers is when d is 3 and when d is negative 3. So your u1 in this case is 15, here also 15. So if I use d is equal to 3, my three numbers is going to be 12, 15 and 18. And here it will become 18, 15 and 12. So that's your final answer here. Okay, so the next one is again arithmetic progression, and the second term of an arithmetic sequence is 20. This is very, very important. When you read the question, make sure that, as I said before, use the notations. So second term is equal to 20, so u2 is 20, and the seventh term is 55, so u7 is 55. And then you need to find the first term, which is u1, and the common difference d. So we already know, again, you can use the formula u1 plus n minus 1 into d, but as I said, it's better to memorize that u2 is one common difference away from u1. So u2 is u1 plus d, which means 20 is equal to u1 plus d. So you get one equation here. And since you have to find two things, two unknowns, that's why two conditions are given. So u7, that will be equal to u1 plus 60. And then it is 55 is equal to u1 plus 60. 55 is equal to u1 plus 60. Now, it's a simultaneous equations. You subtract them, and then it will be very easy to solve for. So what I'm going to do is, rather than doing, you can do here, but what I'm going to do is, I will write 55 here. It doesn't matter, but try to avoid the negative numbers here. So negative, this got cancelled. This is 35 is equal to 5d, so d is equal to 7. So you already have d is equal to 7. You can substitute in this or in this. Again, try to minimize the time of working, and so do not overcomplicate the calculation. So it's better to substitute d is equal to 7 in, u2 is equal to u1 plus d. So in this case, 20 is equal to u1 plus 7. So 13 is your u1. So you found u1, which is 13, and d is equal to 7.